Our business mainly is to try and close the energy gap in the rural area.
Award Dorothy is one of the many voices in Kenya championing for the cause of a green and sustainable rural economy.
We try to customize clean cook stoves and fuels that can help improve household health and also protect the environment.
Now we are approaching 1,000 households using biogas in this small sub-county, Undanyi.
Tangu nijenge hii biogas imenisaidia sababu hata siku hizi situmii kuni. Wakati unapika naweza kufanya unakohoa au unapumua vibaya kwa sababu ya moshi.
Such stories of change emanate from NEMA's Green Growth and Employment Program, reverberating from different parts of Kenya as they share information and care for the green economy. Certainly you've heard words like going green, green economy, and probably green points. But what are they? Why green?
42% of our economy relies basically on natural resource management. Unless you look at the issues of natural resources, the same can heavily be depleted. There are lots of waste that results from these developments. There are lots of pollution that results from developmental issues. We have to look at all this to ensure that as we undertake developmental activities, we mainstream environmental issues into our development initiatives as a country.
It is a fact that today we're living in a crucial time. The negative effects of climate change and the environment around us have affected everyone. And so the race is on to mitigate the many adverse effects if we are to achieve sustainable economic growth and development. The actions we take today will transform our tomorrow.
With one stove that we produce, that we fabricate, you can either use briquettes or you can use firewood. So if one household picked like 3 or 5 pieces, this would be enough to make ugali and mboga on a day. And this is enough still to boil some bathing water. All the raw materials that are used to make the briquettes and the cook stoves are locally available. So we create job opportunities for them. With our solution, we have reduced the pressure on natural resources and the forest.
The National Environment Management Authority, NEMA, has established green points in several counties, a concept that practically embraces the use of green economy, which upholds the use of natural resources like energy, while enabling economic growth that supports creation of job opportunities and improvement of livelihoods, thus reducing poverty.
Green Point is a resource center where best environmental practices are supposed to be exhibited. We have embraced the solar system. We use it to run our computers. Number 2, we have an alarm system run by our solar system. For the sake of our security in the compound, we have an electric fence. And this electric fence is also run by our solar panel. On segregation of the waste, we embrace the same practice. We separate them in an effort to ensure that the people get the clean and healthy environment. NEMA has worked with a few lead agents and NGOs to ensure that we solve this problem. SNV was able to craft some kind of toilets which are movable. The covers of these toilets are made in such a manner that we do not have the caving in of the pit latrines as they dig their pit latrines.
For several years now, NEMA has been working in close collaboration with national government lead agencies, county governments and development partners like Danida in the Green Growth and Employment Program GGEP, a Denmark-Kenya government's partnership whose objective is to contribute to an inclusive green growth and employment in Kenya.
We have the lead agencies and all other stakeholders, the private sector. We are working very closely. We want to be as green as possible. When you see the features of a green point, we are promoting water harvesting, we are promoting use of the natural light and also green energy on issues of waste management. We are minimizing the pollution of the waste. both human waste and animal waste, which is the raw material for biogas. When we promote use of biogas, we reduce on quantity of firewood that is taken from the environment to use as energy.
It has a number of advantages for us. First of all, it manages the waste that comes from the gentlemen who are in this school, and then it generates gas through the biodigestion that takes place, and the gas is able to help us in the kitchen, and that cuts down on the wood fuel that we use at the kitchen. The gas is also benefiting the boys by doing the hot water system for them. These are very cold environment, and at the same time, the refuge that comes from the biogas system is able to act like a fertilizer for our fodder for the animals on the other end, and generally to make the environment green.
The waste now comes on this side. I have over 80 Masons who have just passed through my hands on training. So they are all also training others. And NEMA is like the team leader. If NEMA runs towards you, it is telling you, grow up. So the support I get to NEMA is always they tell me, grow up. Every World Environment Day is like a birthday to me.
The benefits are enumerated across plains and ridges.
We've benefited a lot from the biogas in that we don't use a lot of firewood. Using a lot of firewood comes with a lot of smoke. Now with the biogas, we have reduced that smoke to almost nil, as you can see. I'm sure none of us is getting choked.
Sasa unaona kama stima za kwetu hapa kila wakati zinakuja zinaenda. Sasa itakuwa sasa hii sola inanisaidia. Nimeona faida kubwa sana. Naona hii jua likiwa hata ukienda ukichota yale maji hata wewe mwenyewe kuweka kwa mkono itakuwa ni moto sana.
NEMA's role is that of safeguarding and regulating the environment, which is energy, which is air quality, water quality, biodiversity, yeah, and many others, including even we're looking at also climate change. So for the green points, the whole idea was to have the green points both as a physical structure showcase how the environment can be protected, but also have it as a hub where these solutions can be provided for access by any stakeholder who is interested.
Watu wa NEMA ndio walimwambia sisi hii mfupa alikuwa ni chafu, sasa nyinyi narokota na hii mfupa sasa zamani natupa, pembe hii yote natupa, alafu sasa wamefanya kitu ya dhamana na samani yalikuwa ni chafu. Unaona kubuyu wetu hiyo ni ya kutoka miti, hakuna madhara yoyote. Tukitengeneza kitu kama hiyo, maziwa yetu tunaweka huko, nyama yetu tunaweka huko, badala tunaweka kwa plastic. Kama ingekuwa hatujakuja bali kama hii, hakuna watu naona sisi.
In so doing, we reduce waste in the environment, and we also create employment and also generate income for families. So that's what we intend to continuously do. The Green Point is a resource center. We've got lots of materials and we encourage them to be coming because that was the sole purpose of this building.
It is very important that we have not only a top-down approach when you talk about protecting the environment and the sustainable development, but also a bottom-up so that people also get involved themselves and actually themselves are driving the changes that we need for a more sustainable development of world.
The National Environment Management Authority was established in 2002 in line with Kenya's socio-economic blueprint Vision 2030 that seeks to create a globally competitive and prosperous country with a high quality of life by the year 2030. Apart from its objectives of supervising and coordinating environmental activities and serving as a main national body to implement environmental policies in all sectors within the country, NEMA seeks to ensure a clean, healthy and sustainable environment in Kenya.
We have a number of groups led by BD Kwa Kazi Women Group that has been championing the rehabilitation of the mangroves. In the recent past, up to around 2nd of this February, we managed to plant up to around 100,000 mangrove seedlings. And we think that this effort would go a long way to improve the tree cover the required tree cover of 10% as required by the government.
We are working on restoring areas which have been destroyed before, or areas which have been affected with the issue of climate change, like sea rise. And here we've managed to raise more than 200,000 of mangrove seedlings per season. As NEMA being the custodian of environmental work, they've been creating a lot of awareness to the community. They've been having meetings with community groups. They've been helping community, although they've been linking community with different activities on the ground.
We motivate them by procuring or buying part of the seedlings that they raise, and through that they get their income. Beyond that, we link them with potential non-state actors on environmental management that normally also procure their seedlings, and in so doing they earn a livelihood.
Such stories of change are also traced to the County of Champions, Elgeyo Marakwet. Elgeyo Marakwet, which until recently had lost a whopping 308 million shillings due to poor sanitation. The losses included access time, premature death, healthcare costs, and productivity.
NEMA is our great friend in this county. We work very closely in terms of promoting what we call the green economy. In most cases, we partner with NEMA because they have got a humble space in their offices. So we use those offices in meetings, especially during this COVID-19.
Basically, this Green Point is assisting us to coordinate environmental activities. We have also a biodigestor, which helps in managing our effluent. Effluents are the sewage waste. All the effluents, of course, are treated using the enzymes. The enzymes digest everything, plus even the tissue paper. What goes out of the digester is just clean water. It's very good for low-income areas where housing are not really overcrowded.
Biodigestor has many advantages compared to septic tank. It's cost-friendly. It also requires very little materials. In Elgeyo Marakwet, we don't have the sewer line here. We have to suck and take to Eldoret. That is very far, so the cost is high. And also, it can harm the environment. When you suck, then it may be spillage on the road to Eldoret. So NEM always pushes us to use the biodigester because the enzyme deal with them. Then it reduces the environment, very clean water that has no hazards.
If you look at the government blueprints, especially on the two pillars, the economic pillar and the social pillar, what is envisaged under economic pillar, all those developmental projects must consider environmental issues, because we can never have sustainable developments unless we mainstream environmental issues into our development activities.
I'm a garbage collector. We normally collect waste in Embu with community groups and also street boys. We are also mobilizing the community that scavenges waste so that we are able to work in tandem and create a system, a loop where we have zero waste.
Hii ya recycling naonaga na ile inafanya vizuri ni kwa sababu yani hata mimi imeniajiri. Sasa nimeona hata ukienda ukichukua hii makaratasi, mifuko hii ya kisasa imekuja, unaweza tu kutengeneza kakamba na utengeneza maua fulani na ionekane kama ni maridadi. Na ndio hii sasa. Na mwenye kuweka taya hata yeye imemwajiri. Ni kwa sababu nitanunua kwake, alafu nikunje nifanye value addition ya kile kitu ambacho mimi nataka.
We've been able to work with communities to display and showcase what they are really doing, what businesses they are doing, which innovations they have come up with. The role of the Green Point is specifically to promote green economy, circular economy. And from that, we've been able to, of course, sensitize people on waste. We've been able to sensitize people on the role of county environment committees at this point.
The Green Point has actually been a center of conversation on waste management.
Green economy deviates from past economic growth, which has been largely driven by energy obtained from the combustion of fossil fuels. The use of fossil fuels results in emissions of greenhouse gases, especially carbon dioxide, into the atmosphere, thus increasing global warming. Green economy therefore provides the best eco-friendly option to ensure future sustainability.
We have a number of motorcycles in Mbita and Homa Bay. We're charging them using solar. It's more economically friendly as compared to the combustion motorcycles. They don't have an engine, so you don't have to service, you don't have to put oil or anything like that. And comparatively, a number of kilometers that you use, let's say 150 shillings of fuel, you would use about 70 shillings to cover the same distance with a battery. The tailpipe emissions for the electric mobility motorcycles is zero, and this is going to help us have a cleaner and safer environment.
The natural environment is a collective good, the patrimony of all humanity, and the responsibility of everyone. We have to care for it, and it will care for us.
We were able to mobilize the county environment committees, some community members, some schools, to have meetings in that Green Points and actually borrow a leaf from the Green Point concept. Some of them are already getting those benefits. The youth or women having those green enterprises, because in the rural setups where there is no electricity, they are able even to power on their laptop, their mobile phones.
At NEMA, I observed a very conducive environment, most especially at the Green Point. The Green Point is a point where it was just space, there were trees, there was cool breeze.
And you see, once you give knowledge to these young growing children, they will be able to grow up with that culture and make this green technology culture grow day and day.
We take environment studies seriously. This is because, for one, in our school, if you can observe, we have trees around us, and the trees are of different sizes. Since they are of different sizes, this means we plant the trees consecutively. We also have flowers. We also have tanks where we preserve water.
Green economy upholds the efficient use of natural resources and energy, while enabling economic growth that supports creation of job opportunities and improvement of livelihoods, thus alleviating poverty. It is only under these conditions that sustainable development can prevail.
Resources are not enough to actualize some of those components that were conceptualized initially. For example, we have not managed to put up the botanical garden. And therefore, we have a lot of information here. We have books, we have pamphlets, we have environmental documents that would be beneficial to the community and the learning institutions around here. But because we have not gone out enough to market what we have, the uptake is still low.
These green technologies will promote environment-friendly practices. We are very good with the environment. They are there to enhance the environment. And once the environment is enhanced, then we'll be able to mitigate the adverse impacts of climate change.
We are adding to the tree cover because the Constitution and even MCA and other laws promote the 10% tree cover in every farm or any institution, any area, so that we improve on the forest cover and tree cover within the country.
Under the project, the Green Growth and Employment Program, NEMA had 4 key outputs, which are enhanced capacity of counties to undertake devolved environmental functions, reduced environmental crime, environmental functions mainstreamed in ministries, departments and agencies, and enhanced private sector adoption of green technologies and practices.
A lot of the discussion right now is more and more on partnerships, how to get people involved, how to get businesses involved, and how to get the public sector more involved, and how to ensure that everybody works together in the same direction, and also to get civil society included in that triangle.
The revolution of the green economy is a game changer to the many rural economies. Looking ahead, NEMA will continue offering solutions that will not only empower the society as a whole, but also create meaningful employment to the millions of youth and women. NEMA, mazingira yetu, uhai wetu, wajibu wetu.